Peace, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for stepping into the file playland. As always, I'm your file player, and I wanted to start making some more draft coverage videos. That way, when I do my, reactions come draft weekend or draft weekend. People don't think I'm talking out of my ass, but this is more of a take rather than a breakdown. But I spent most of this afternoon and this morning re-looking at um, tape for Kellen Mond, the quarterback out of Texas A&M. A lot of times, I watched a lot of Texas A&M games, like because I'm a little bit impartial to them, and you don't hear him like mentioned with the the upper echelons of this draft's quarterbacks, but Kellen Mond is the goods, man. Like I don't think he's like far and away you know the best thing going, but I definitely think he's worth the risk. In fact, and I'm gonna show my ass a little bit on this one, but I would take, and this is probably gonna be the subject matter of this video, but I would take Kellen Mond over Justin Fields. Now, before I want to say about Justin Fields, it's not um, as far as the talent factor. I think Justin Fields is a lot faster than Kellen Mond. Um, I think Justin Fields has a more powerful arm than Kellen Mond. I think neither one of them throw that great as far as their arm motion goes, but Justin Fields has the better arm motion without question. Kellen Mond throws very funny, and the way that Kellen Mond stands in the pocket, especially when the pocket is collapsing, it's almost he got like a little bit of that chicken wing hold, like where he's kind of like with his elbows out. That's a little concerning, but and I think you gotta I guess say like Justin Fields stands in the pocket a little better, but Kellen Mond is better in the pocket, and this is why I would pick him above Justin Fields. And in fact, I pick him over Trey Lance too. Kellen Mond also, when it comes to a Trey Lance comparison, I mean, like, or like competition solely, um, it's not even a question who played against better competition. But I don't know any of the intangibles as far as how Kellen Mond is, and I haven't been hearing anything bad about Justin Fields as far as attitude goes. And I actually think that Justin Fields' story or grind to get to where he is now, I mean, like, it's commendable. But I still take Kellen Mond. I like a quarterback who could, in the face of their pocket breaking down, could stay within that pocket and attempt to make throws. And the throws that Kellen Mond makes in those situations in which he has to step up into the pocket, talent that a lot of people don't have, like just even stepping up into the pocket and not running. But the catches that the throws that he tries to make are short throws, and I like that. I don't like check downs necessarily in those situations unless it's like there and that's all you have. But he doesn't try to he doesn't get excited in those instances and tries to make a big throw to compensate, like for the fact that he got a few more seconds of throwing time, like due to stepping up in a pocket that's breaking down. But another thing too is the tools that Justin Fields had compared to Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond has nothing in the way of wide receivers. I don't like none of the wide receivers from Texas A&M this year. I can't really pick any out that I liked. I mean, they had a tight end that was decent, but even him, he's kind of a scrubby. Um, uh, the wide receiver, I think number 0 and number 5 are decent. I mean, 0 more, but like they just seem scrubby. Like, I mean, like they seem like like guys that could get busy in the zone. But having said that, I didn't think that Kellen Mond had any much in the way of weapons, and I also think that Kellen Mond's right side of his offensive line really stunk. His right tackle is okay, and his right guard like seemed undersized and struggled the whole year. So playing in the SEC, like with that lack of tools, and for him not to be a running quarterback solely, I mean it says a lot about him. Um, the one drawback against him, I mean, another drawback against Mond is that he's a little bit small and skinny, and that throwing motion, I mean, it's scary because he throws it like really low. But I mean, you got to look at the games that he had against Alabama. I mean, he had one interception, yeah, but he still had 300 yards plus, 3 touchdowns. Um, maybe had like 3 running plays. I mean, like that's not his first option. I like that. Justin Fields, like I mean, like either like the thing that I don't like about him is that he plays too much cowboy ball and tries to make plays happen like when they're not there or runs. Um, and I don't think neither one of them are like running quarterbacks. I think it's a shame that they would be running quarterbacks, but Justin Fields, to me, his ceiling would be a little bit of a hair under Cam Newton. In Cam Newton's good days, not his MVP days necessarily, because Cam Newton had really, really underrated arm, but he's right a tick below that, like I think. But Kellen Mond, I mean, like sort of reminds me of Texas A&M's last quarterback that got drafted by Arizona. I forget his name, but sort of reminds me of him. Not as great of a short range thrower, but taller. So I think he makes more happen without having to move so much. Um, you know, as far like I mean, and that's the best pro comparison I could come up to. I mean, it's a little bit lazy because they're both Texas A&M guys. Um, but that's my comparison now. Like trying to see if I could pull up his name real quick. But you know, like that's my easy comparison, but I think a lot of teams could do really well by taking Mon. He might even slip out of the first round. I predict he'd be right after the first round, but if I were the Jets, I mean, I hope that they take Wilson with that second pick. But Kellen Mond might be my quarterback number 3, and honestly, Wilson might be my quarterback number 1 in this draft. Do I think Kellen Mond is anywhere near Lawrence? If if I had Lawrence as my QB number 2, no way. I mean, Lawrence is a way better prospect. Um, and Lawrence has the figure, which sort of makes him still my number 1. But Kellen Mond, I'm not gonna say he has a higher ceiling than Kyler Murray, which is my NFL comparison for him, because I think Kyler Murray still has the opportunity to be really good. But he plays very similar to Kyler Murray with a little bit more height, and yeah, I think I got to take him over Fields, man. I mean, like Fields doesn't have a injury history, but Ohio quarterbacks, man, they're very scary, and Fields to me hasn't shown like that consistent wow ability. Like Fields has been really good at some points and just good in certain games. I mean, he struggled this year against forget, but yeah. The one his one bad game, he had like three interceptions this year. Other games, I mean, there's not like, with the exception of that one game in the first game in the college playoffs, like there hasn't been really many instances where I'm just like, man, this guy Fields, we got to take him, especially at the number with the number two overall pick. I mean, if that was the case where the Jets thought that he was their guy, I mean, I would definitely look to trading down because somebody is gonna think that Wilson, maybe the Falcons, um, are gonna think that Wilson is their guy at number two. And I gotta be frank too. I mean, like, and this is like the an instance with Mond as well. I mean, like, the brothers have a hard time, like, getting that long term commitment, i.e., more than 2 years, from franchises. I mean, it's a shame, but at the first sign of a brother quarterback struggling, I mean, sometimes they have 1 year. Look at Washington. Um, they didn't even give that kid like half a season. Um, I mean, yeah, he made some bonehead off the field mistakes, but you know, a lot of other quarterbacks do just as much, or if not worse. But with a so that's the way I look at it. If the Jets were to take him at number two, speaking of Justin Fields, um, and he doesn't have success, I think he would have a lot shorter um of a leash or patience with the New York Jet fans than a Kellen Mond being taken in the late first round, um, or maybe second round. Who knows? Um, I think they would be a little bit more patient with Mond more than they would of Fields if they took Fields over Wilson. Because I mean, like, a lot of people, prognosticators, have Wilson as the lesser talent, but a lot. I mean, it's 50-50 to me. But I mean, it's 50-50, like, as far as people like taking Fields over Wilson. But in my eyes, I think Wilson's a way better prospect. And everything I said about Kellen Mond, as far as his ability to step up in the pocket and stay in the pocket, I mean, Wilson fits that need 100 times more with a lot nicer throws than what Kellen Mond does. But Mond would be my consolation prize in a sense of like not taking a quarterback at two and then moving on and taking one in the later rounds. But let me know what you guys think. Kyle Trask is a bum. I don't think Kyle Trask should be anywhere in the second round, or like even like nowhere near the second rounds. I mean, Mac Jones, he's okay. I mean, like, again, I mean, he's a second, third round talent, but he has like the balls like to play like in these big game scenarios. He had a lot of weapons. I mean, like, so you can't, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, like, there's a lot of traction that he's being considered for the Redskins, and that just seems like a Redskins type of pick, or a Washington football team kind of pick, um, where it's no good. Um, you know, but if I had to do my order, I mean, it's probably Sunshine Lawrence, number one, and Wilson right at his heels, followed by Kellen Mond, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Kyle Trash way after. Like, Mac Jones after Trey Lance though. And I honestly, like, worry a lot about Trey Lance, like the sense that he took this year off. And when he was playing, I mean, I like the fact that he didn't get a lot of interceptions, but those weren't like high risk throws a lot of times. And you're still talking about a quarterback that was, putting up 200 yards in some games. Like, how much are you going to throw in the NFL? Like, do you plan on running him into the ground? Like, if he goes to the NFL and having him be like a 130-yard quarterback, I mean, that doesn't last long. And another thing too, like with a lot of these quarterbacks, the reason I don't want like the running gun guys, because it's very easy to get illegal contact calls against defenders, or pass interference against defenders. So I want that guy that's going to be making a lot of throws that are safe, that won't get picked off, and that could either A, be caught, or B, you're gonna give me a 15-yard penalty with or 17-yard penalty with and first down. I take that all day. So you're gonna see that more, that potential more of those things happening with a Mond rather than a Justin Fields. Justin Fields does a lot of reckless throws, man. And like with the Jets, you're talking about right now our best receiver might be Denzel Mims. I mean, we're gonna be cutting a lot of people, I think, this year. So it's pretty tough. I mean, like you're looking at like trying to get a lot of players to start in this draft and maybe in free agency if they come here. I mean, we'd be really lucky if we're going into this free agency probably looking to sign two wide receivers to start. Um and I mean, if it's it has to be pretty much a tandem of like Robinson and somebody else of significance, in addition to like looking to draft a wide receiver in the draft, look like to start. I mean, like the Jets have a lot of holes to fill, and like to have a running gunning, not, and Justin Fields is not a run first quarterback, but a first year coach is gonna try to make him run to win games in the short term, and I don't see them winning games a lot anyway. So like the fans and the New York patience for him is gonna be really really thin. Like, so, no Justin Fields for me. Let me know what you guys think. With that, I'm out. Peace.